All right, so let me tell you about the update. So my father, so no, I'm here at the house, and I hear a knock. I mean, the doorbell ring. Okay, I go. My father's not here. The men are working, so I was expecting it to be the men or delivery, probably. Um, I said, "Whoop," and I didn't take my glasses because these are the two people who are ring the doorbell. Um, so I look and I said, that looks like Regina. Now, who's Regina? Y'all remember Regina? Regina was his provider, the one who, when I paid her, and I asked her, I was trying to see if it's going to be your last day because I just want to make sure you are not trying to take advantage of my father. I didn't say it and stuff like that, but y'all remember. So she's coming in, and it's so interesting because I had a dream that she was going to try to come back. But I'm still new to having these dreams like my mother had. You know what I'm saying? Like she could have left me something else, but this is what she left me. So, I said, "Oh, come on in." She was like, "Where's your dad?" I said, "Well, he went to take, he went to take his provider to the bus stop, but he'll be back. So you can come in, you can have a seat if you like, whatever, right?" So she sits down on the couch, whatever, just chit chat and all that stuff. She's asking, "Well, what they doing out here?" And I said, "Well, we getting a new fence." I said, "We got the bathroom done. We got a new fence. The next thing's gonna be painting. Um, so we're just doing some home improvements and all that stuff." I said, "Once we get all of that done, then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable, with returning back to Georgia." So anyway, so chit chat. So then Daddy comes in and he was, and so she was like, "Hello, stranger." My daddy said, "I don't know you." She was like, "Yes, you do. I know my face is a little fatter, but." And so, oh, sorry. When we were chit chatting, she said, "Well, do you know if your dad wants me back or not?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. We don't talk about it." I did say that we don't talk about it. I said, when he called, you didn't return his call, and then we got a new provider. Yeah, listen. So she was like, "Oh, I just found my phone." I didn't. I may have looked at that. I don't always control my face like I'm supposed to, so I don't know if I did or didn't. So I was just thinking, uh huh. So she was talking about how she's down to her last check, which is makes sense, right? Because she took unemployment, but I don't know how she took unemployment. Oh, she got sick, or so that's what she said. I'm sure she was probably making more money on unemployment, but of course now her daughter job was she was doing one job, but now she got another one. So her daughter was making $17 an hour. Now she's down to 10. Her son with his two children are at her house. It's all in one bedroom apartment, all this kind of stuff. So she's probably stressing out, right? And so she was like, "Well, you have until uh the beginning of next month to make your decision, whatever, right?" That's what she tells my daddy. So back to my daddy comes in. So my daddy has been extra testosterone. I'm making up words because the men are here working on the fence, right? So every time men are around, he get a little different, um, which is interesting to me. But whatever. Okay. So he go outside. He on this little scooter thing out there, and I told him, I said, "Daddy, they working? Are you in the way?" But today he had his hat on because yesterday, what I tell you, it was so hot yesterday. Not so much today. We got a little breeze today. So anyway, I digress. So comes in, still got his hat on, all this stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you looking different. Oh, how you lost some weight, you know." Then when he took his hat off, he said, she said, "Oh, I ain't never seen you with this much hair." And I, of course, say, "I've been trying to tell him I cut it for him. I used to get the clippers, but he said I don't have no license." She goes, "Well, you know how your daddy is. Your daddy want things a certain way." He talked about then she said, how he like his food and in the kitchen, and I was just thinking again, because you can't cook. He has already said you can't cook, so yeah, he don't want you in the kitchen. Um, both my mother and I can cook, and so yeah. Um, and then so anyway, so they small talk, whatever, and so when can you hear the men outside? This is what I'm talking about, and I know this. I know he talking to my daddy. So anyway, I can't tell. I don't want to look out the window and be all obvious like you too loud. But I see two men over here working. There's this conversation going on over here. Anyway, so she asked that, after a while and all that stuff, after the small talk, and she goes, are you willing to take me back? And he was like, I'm mad at you. And she was like, why are you mad at me? I called you and you didn't call me back. And she told him the same thing. I just found my phone. It was in my daughter's other car. Girl, anyway, you would have did better saying my phone was off. But anyway, so Daddy said, well, we'll let you know, about 3 days. I said, oh, okay. So, she still chit chatted a little bit. She saw the bathroom, then, because we upgraded the bathroom. Went in there and looked in there. Oh, this is nice. Then she went out and was looking at the fence, and she was like, oh, this is nice and neat, and it's all even. Oh yeah, and they black. They look like they know what they doing. My daddy says, if I can, I like to support black businesses, and I was like, yes, that's what we do around here. What you talking about? But anyway, so I get up for the third time because each time she's like, well, I'm going to go, but then she ain't really leave. So this time I get up to go on and exit. Because she just tell my daddy, because the gentleman bought my daddy some lunch. And I said, Daddy, because you a worker, I guess, because you out there in the morning, you out there in the evening, you know what I'm saying? So I keep trying to keep him hydrated, because this is not what you normally do, even though you on a scooter. But when I tell you there is no shade in the backyard, no shade. Not a tree in sight. And they cut down the tree that was on the other side of the fence in the alley, because of course we putting up a new fence and we don't want this tree to fall on this new fence. So this tree got to go, and we wasn't doing nothing in the alley. So I'm safe. So then I said, okay. So when she left, I said, because of course my dad's like, well, what you gonna eat? Dad, don't worry about it. I'll find me something to eat. So I find me whatever, give me something. I said, do you want to talk about it now, or you want to think about it? He said, might as well get it over with. I said, well, do you want pros and cons, or what? Tell me what you're thinking and all that stuff. And so I said, the pro is Regina's a better worker in terms of keeping the house and being intuitive. The new girl, whose name is Gina, so it's Regina and just Gina. Gina, 23, white, disabled. Regina, 56, maybe. Black and a mess. But both of them have issues with their lives, right? So Gina has her issue with who she's living with, and she's trying to get away from him, and her aunt gave her some money so she can get this apartment, and she closes on the apartment on the 15th, or moves in on the 15th, and blah, 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 blah. And then, but neither of them have cars, so my father goes and picks them up in the morning from the bus park and ride and takes them back. I don't have any issue with that because I know my daddy got to get out, right? He's much more social than I am, so that's fine. So I say, Regina put herself in this position, Daddy. We did not put her in this position. The company did not put her in this position. I said, so we have no obligation to her. But I did say, in terms of maintaining, she's much more intuitive than Gina is. Now, it could be because I'm here, right? So maybe Gina would be more intuitive if she had to be, but she really doesn't have to be because I'm here, right? But like I have to I have a list on the refrigerator of all the things to do, but I never said like vacuum. We have these vinyl floors. So I have sweep on there, but Gina has had a stroke, and so her right side is not really paralyzed, but she can't lift the leg, so she drags the leg. And then her arm is really tight. Like she can move it a little bit, but not much. So I said, oh well, let's not sweep then. You can vacuum. Let's just vacuum the area. But she is so literal that she only vacuums in the dining room and the kitchen. But there's a walkway that, of course, if there's something in the dining room, Daddy's going to bring that to, going into the den, and you don't vacuum that. So I've said that to her. But now she does it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like if you tell her, she'll do whatever you ask her to do. She's very determined because of that. Because she's had the disability. Her mother is passed away about 5 years ago, I think. So she's 23. So she was young. But it's just, she's not intuitive like the other people are. But she's not necessarily a bad worker. So daddy did say, well, I don't go walking because I don't think that Gina can walk with me. I said, I said, did she say that or is that you? Because the first time Gina came to the house, she walked from the bus stop, of course, right? And the bus stop is a mile, for those of you who don't know, the bus stop is a mile away from the house. And then the reason why he picks her up at the bus station at the parking lot is because that prevents her from having to do another transfer to get to this over here. And it's not that far. Um, but I mean, he did it for her, and I told Gina, I said, if you're comfortable with riding with him, he will gladly take you and pick you up because that's something for him to do, and I don't have a problem with that either, and it's not far. Um, so, so I said, so she's done that before. I said, so I think that's you feeling like she can't. I said, so why don't you walk with her tomorrow? Excuse me, get up early because the heat is ridiculous. Past couple of days, today was really decent. And so get up early and y'all walk for a little bit, and then just see if you like that part. Regina makes him work out, which is different. And I told Gina, you have to be I don't want to say forceful or aggressive with him because he's gonna say no, but he don't really mean no. But now when he's done, you'll know when he's like, I ain't gonna do it, right? But like if you say, okay, are you ready to whatever? He said no, but then he said, oh, I guess I will. That kind of thing. That's how he is. I said, but so Gina would come in and hand my daddy the weights. And it's like, okay, come on, we can do the weights. Come on, we can do, that kind of a thing. But Gina only got one good arm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's really kind of pushing with that particular piece. And of course, me and him, I don't mind walking. Like, Dad, we can go out together. Um, we could do all of those kinds of things. But the issue is, I'm not gonna be here all the time. So what we gonna do about that? So, um, whatever. So I just told him about that part. So in terms of like Regina knowing how to handle him, Regina's better. When I tell Gina, she says, okay. So in the like if I tell her something today and then in the morning she says, okay, this is what I did. I got him up and he ate his breakfast and we did So that's not bad. It's just different, right? So and I told him, I said, well, but my father is having a very difficult time with this. And I see it on his face. I was like, Daddy, you don't have to put this much energy into it. Um, and he was like, I don't want to have to make this decision, And I said, well, Daddy, we can keep it this, like, I don't know. And then I said, well, Daddy, I don't even know if the company will allow her just to come back because there's technically nothing wrong with Gina. Like, we've never complained about her. You know what I'm saying? So this might be something that she might be cooking up. I just kept saying, I just need you to be careful with her because I don't think she's forthcoming. Now, has she ever stolen anything from us? No. Has she? Now, I don't think she deliberately introduced my father to Zarina. Her name is Zarina, y'all. Figured that out, not Serena. But because they, oh, I know, or whatever, I don't, so, but I think that she knows not to cross that line again because I'm for real crazy, right? So that's the thing that Daddy has been talking about because Daddy's also been talking about the workers. Like, nobody wants to make you upset. Everybody, and I'm cool with that. Like, this works in my favor. So, so now I guess the gentleman is just talking because now I can see my daddy, and so he must be on the phone. Nope, they still talking. Sorry. Um, so anyway, so I was like, like it's not a situation that it was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you're here or anything like that. Because, I don't handle things like that. Like, if Gina was not working out, she still wouldn't be here. Um, I don't necessarily have that big an issue with the disability, but I didn't think about that Daddy was deciding not to even try to walk with her. Didn't even cross my mind. But of course, she's 23 too. So, of course, he thinks of her as a little girl and not as a woman, and this is part of her job, that kind of a thing, right? So, because she did correct him though when he kept calling her a little girl, and I said, there it is. That's how you get him. Don't be disrespectful or anything like that, but make sure that he's clear. And so I was telling her, yeah, trying to get, he's easy. He's really easy. Um, so I've been blabbing, but I just needed y'all to be updated on that, and so I will let you know what he decides. And when I told him that I had a dream about it, he said, "Did you?" I said, "Yeah, but I didn't have an end to the dream. Meaning, once we had the dream, I didn't have we took her back or we said no or anything like that. But I don't know for myself too, so I think I need to think about it and pray about it as well, and be like, which would be the best choice." But I did say that everybody that works with my father, though, nobody really wants to leave. Like they either have to leave, like when we've got new providers, it's either because of it's something with them. It's never something with us, because we are easy. The house is not a mess. My parents, but even when my mother was alive, they don't require a lot. They're not nitpicky. They're not fussy. They don't do that like some elderly people can do, right? Because they're angry for whatever reason, or they don't want these people in my house and all that kind of stuff. These people, my folks, were easy, and they're still easy. And my father still does a lot, right? Like he'll wash his own clothes, so you don't have as many clothes to wash. He tries to do that kind of thing. So I get why people want to be here, and I told him that. I said, no, this is a good spot. One, you pick them up, and sometimes if you stop off and you get breakfast and you buy them breakfast, like this is a good deal. So you have the leverage here, and you just got to decide. But I just really thought it was interesting that she came. Now, how did she get here? Y'all might want to know, since she doesn't have a car. She, since her daughter and her son have cars, she took one of their cars. And she finna go take her stepmother to go grocery shopping or something like that. But she came in with a mask, which was great. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting.